Good morning, everybody. Uneducated economist here. So this liquidity injection that the Federal Reserve has done over the last week is kind of a big deal. Even though it's not getting treated like a big deal, it's kind of a big deal because if you think about it, had the Federal Reserve not done this, these big banks may be freezing up on their credit markets right now. Now, this is one of the things that they had used the Federal Reserve had used prior to the '08 financial crisis, in that when these big banks ran short of liquidity to lend to each other, now this is the cash. They hold all kinds of assets. If you haven't gone and researched what's going on with the big banks as far as their liquidity shortage, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there explaining it right now. Go and check out my last video. I kind of did a little bit of explaining on what's going on. But these big banks ran short of liquidity, and they needed the Federal Reserve to basically step up and buy treasuries off their balance sheets. And that's exactly what happened. Now, the Federal Reserve has done this in the past. Like I said, they did it back in '08. Prior to the financial crisis, and it's kind of like an early warning sign. Now, they had some reasonings for this. They said, well, there was an influx of treasuries that came out of the United States government. At the same time, there was a drawdown due to a corporate quarterly tax payment that was due. And between these two, the banks found themselves short of liquidity, and they needed the Federal Reserve to step in and add liquidity to make sure that, everything was lending properly at the proper interest rates. But I got to thinking about this. Is this an early warning sign of things to come? Because the talk of a standing repo facility where this is something that they don't use to fine-tune, like this week was not a fine-tuning through the repo facility. This was like a serious injection. They needed like some serious cash or else the credit markets were going to start freezing up. So typically the overnight repo is used for just kind of fine-tuning, making sure that the interest rates stay where they're supposed to be. Now it's used as an actual monetary policy for the last week. And that's not what the Federal Reserve has the overnight repo for. Now, there is discussion of having a standing overnight repo facility where this is the way they establish interest rates by, using this overnight repo and an overnight reverse repo to kind of channel the interest rates. Now, I don't want to get too technical into it because, to be honest with you, I really don't know that much about it beyond what I just said. But I got to thinking, what's going on here with the Treasury influx? And if that's going to get worse? Because you think about it, something that Audio had mentioned on this channel quite a few times, although I haven't seen Audio comments in quite some time, he used to troll me quite a bit, and he would say that there's 10,000 baby boomers retiring with their Social Security check every day. The economy's going to be rocking and rolling. And now I got to thinking about this a little bit. These 10,000 baby boomers with their Social Security checks, that's an unfunded liability. And many times I've heard the Federal Reserve chairman say that the monetary policies are no issue until it comes time to monetizing the unfunded liabilities. Could this be an early warning sign of that? Uneducated economist. You guys let me know.